fucking deception! What is going on? What's going on? I'm Cody. Welcome to Nathan for Reaction. Today I'm going to be reacting to SpongeBob Conspiracy number 5, The Neptune Theory. This is by Alex Bell. As always, link to the video in the description. Have lost guys our new channel. Smash that subscribe and leave a like the video. Let's see if we get this video like 1,000 likes. But let's go and check out SpongeBob Conspiracy number 5, The Neptune Theory.
So, the continuity with King Neptune is a bit of a mess. There are 2 different King Neptunes.
Dude,
there's
that's
a King
right.
Poseidon. There's 3 different royal palaces. 2 of them are called the City of Atlantis, but there's also a 3rd unrelated City of Atlantis.
Bruh,
it's
so interesting.
confusing to say the least. But there is actually a way to explain how all of this is intentional and connects together. This is a story of power, deception, and betrayal. This is the Neptune Theory.
Bruh, this sounds extra interesting, dude. Like, let's do this. Bruh, this is low-key creepy.
That was probably nothing.
Right. Bruh, like all the SpongeBob
There's no
conspiracy
tension,
ghosts.
the pacing is slow. It fundamentally fails as a film. Alex, go back to making SpongeBob theory videos. No one wants to see your awful horror film.
No, that is so savage.
One and only cynical critic. And remember to stay cynical. See you later.
Number 5.
And we're back! What's
Dude,
up? I'm your
yes,
host
let's
Alex,
do
the
this.
SpongeBob guy, back with another SpongeBob conspiracy. I've said it before, but the overwhelming support for these videos is insane. So,
Bro,
I'd be
so
stupid
amazing.
not to make more. I mean,
So
everyone
incredible.
loves them, right?
Hello,
Yes.
fellow truth seekers. It's Conspiracy Carl here. Welcome back to
Bro,
the awakening.
Conspiracy
I
Carl.
have been awakened myself to the
Bruh, I like how he's wearing a tinfoil hat.
immense
Good detail.
lies of this person right here. This liar, Alex Bale.
Well, almost everyone. So I showed a
Bruh.
bit of this conspiracy guy's
Savage.
reaction in my last video, and apparently he didn't like that, so now he's claiming that I'm part of some giant Illuminati conspiracy.
Bro, I know.
Somebody looks like they're a puppet for the Illuminati.
What?
Yes, you, sir, have been inserting secret messages into your videos.
Conspiracy
Evil.
Carl.
Evil lurks there, people.
It's honestly
No!
really funny. You should check him out. Anyways, let's get into the theory. Is what I would say if I wasn't sponsored.
Hey,
Oh,
Alex,
the sponsor.
how do I make a cool YouTube film video like you?
Well,
I
it's
mean-
easy. You just gotta learn to edit, record dialogue, write a script,
Right.
use camera and lights, learn
Right.
Photoshop and VFX.
Oh, how the heck am I gonna learn to do all that?
All you gotta do
Practice.
is go to Skillshare.
Practice makes perfect.
Skillshare is an online
Or
learning
Skillshare.
platform that offers thousands of different classes where you can learn filmmaking, editing, Photoshop, and pretty much anything. And you can watch all of Skillshare's videos without any annoying ads interrupting.
Boy, I sure hate when that happens.
I'm thinking about getting into bird watching, so I'm taking bird identification for beginners. That bird has a conical-shaped bill. Thank you, Alfred Curling. The first 1,000 people to go to the link in the description will
Alfred.
get their first month free.
Coming in
Just be
clutch.
careful not to learn too much.
Wow, this is so great.
They
I'm
say
learning
knowledge
so
is
much.
power.
That's maybe too much.
Power is knowledge.
That's a northern royal flycatcher. You can tell by its fan-like crest and long bill. Now on to the theory.
Yes. The movie Neptune.
King Neptune is the ruler of the 7 seas
Right.
and the Roman god of the ocean. If you watch my evolution theory, you know there's also a good chance he's the reason why
Bruh, this one was so good. Like, oh my gosh, dude. Like, mind blown.
fish in Bikini Bottom are so
So
evolved
amazing.
and able to talk. He lives in the city of Atlantis with his wife Queen Amphitrite and his son Triton. But in the first SpongeBob
Right.
movie, he's replaced by a completely different
Dude,
King
that's
Neptune
right.
who has a completely different daughter named Mindy.
Oh my goodness.
These guys don't look or sound at all the same.
Are
so
they the
how
same?
can they both exist in this universe? Well, there's
Are they, like,
already an
brothers?
interesting
What
theory
is
out there
going on?
about this. It's widely believed that the SpongeBob movie takes place in the future after the events of the show. So widely believed that I got hundreds of comments about it in
Bruh, dude, that is interesting.
my Mrs. Puff theory. Yep, I know, guys. I heard
Dang,
what
dog.
you said. The creator of SpongeBob, Steven Hillenburg, said he wanted to end the series with the movie, and it being canonically
Oh
at the
my
end of the
goodness,
SpongeBob
that makes
timeline would
sense.
explain why we never see the Krusty Krab 2 or any of the other
Right.
characters from the movie in the later SpongeBob episodes. And some people believe that the reason why movie Neptune is so different is because he's actually Neptune's son Triton, all grown up. And that's a pretty cool theory, but I don't buy it. Other than Triton looking nothing like movie Neptune, I've never actually believed that the SpongeBob movie takes place in the future. Despite there being many people who commented about it on my Mrs. Puff theory as if it was a proven fact, there's never actually been any official confirmation of it. Steven Hillenburg only said that he wanted to stop making SpongeBob after the movie. He never said anything about where the movie actually takes place in the timeline of the show. And we do actually briefly see Neptune's daughter Mindy show up later in the show in SpongeBob's Big Birthday Blowout. There's no way she'd be there unless the show took place after the events of the movie. I think what's actually going on here with Neptune is something much more interesting, and it
Bruh, dude, I feel like this is about to get, like, extra intriguing.
Ties directly in with the television theory. If you haven't seen that video, it basically proves that the entire show, SpongeBob SquarePants, is actually a nature documentary being filmed by scuba divers, and many of the elements we see throughout the series are secretly set up by the showrunners to make sure that the show is more entertaining and profitable.
Dude,
and this applies to the SpongeBob movie as well. There's promotional art and even a commercial that acknowledges the fact that it's just a movie being
Bruh, I remember watching this in, like, the theater and everything. Oh my gosh, that was so amazing.
Filmed.
Hello? SpongeBob, what kind of jellyfish is that?
Hey guys, it's Carlos from the Zone. Can you tell us about your latest adventure?
Well, this one adventure we had was a real Lulu.
You mean when we
was a
went
real
after
Lulu.
Neptune's crown? It seemed bigger than our usual adventures.
Yes, and with
Bruh,
fewer
that's static though.
interruptions.
Well, thanks guys. We'll see you in the movie.
Movie? What's that?
I know.
I think the real reason why Neptune looks so different in the movie is because the filmmakers couldn't get the real King Neptune, the literal god of the sea, to show up for a movie. So they hired an actor to pretend to be the king. And there is actually a ton of
Bruh, that would be really interesting.
evidence in the show to support this. King Neptune is supposed to live in the great city of Atlantis, but in the movie he just lives in some random sandcastle, almost like they just built a discount version for the movie. But the real evidence comes from season 10, episode 18, Lost and Found, where SpongeBob goes beneath the Krusty Krab to look for something in the Lost and Found. As he searches through this surprisingly massive collection of items, on one of the shelves we see something mind-blowing. The crown worn by King Neptune in the SpongeBob movie.
Yo, what? Dude, that is so
hinges on the fact that
interesting!
Neptune
King
thinks
Neptune!
Mr. Krabs stole his crown. Why would Mr. Krabs have this
Right.
now? Because this isn't just the Krusty Krabs Lost and Found. It's also
It's
where
where
they
they
store
filmed
the
it?
props used by the SpongeBob SquarePants filmmakers to create the SpongeBob movie. If you remember from my television theory, Mr. Krabs is secretly working for the showrunners to spy on all the main characters. And his secret surveillance room was
Mr.
hidden beneath the Krusty Krab, just like this Lost and Found. So it makes perfect sense for the showrunners to hide their props down here. And if you still don't believe me, we also see SpongeBob's guitar, the Goofy Goober peanut hats, and the magical bag of wind. All items from the movie that would make no sense being down here unless this was the showrunner's prop storage, and the movie King Neptune
this
was
is amazing.
just an actor. Well, that's one Neptune down. Now for the real.
Bruh, dude, oh my goodness, that is really interesting. Like all the props down there.
Mystery King Poseidon. In the third SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run, the King of the Sea is yet again replaced by a new character, King Poseidon, the Greek god of the ocean. He actually does live in the city of Atlantis, except instead of the ancient royal architecture, it's a giant casino designed to make money. It'd be easy to say that these are just two separate kings that rule different areas of the sea, but they both claim to be the ruler of the seven seas. So how can two different characters both be the king of the same seven seas?
They get different
The answer to that question actually has to do with a place called Camp Coral. Throughout the third SpongeBob movie, we keep cutting back to flashbacks of a younger SpongeBob and all the other characters when they all went to summer camp together. This was all to set up a spin-off show called Camp Coral that followed these younger characters. Now, at first, I just wrote the show off as SpongeBob following the trend of making all their characters younger to appeal to a younger demographic. It's been done before, and it's never very good. They also completely contradict the continuity of the main show by having characters like Sandy and SpongeBob meet as kids when we know they actually met as adults in the main show. Look, I am having a hard enough time figuring out this show's continuity on its own. I do not need another show full of contradictions to make it even harder. But the creators actually did something very clever to make the continuity work. The 7th episode of Camp Coral ends with one of the biggest plot twists I've ever seen from the show. So in this episode, SpongeBob actually discovers the Krabby Patty secret formula way before it was supposed to be created by
Bro, what? Dude, that is so interesting.
Mr. Krabs. But at the end of the episode, it gets accidentally destroyed by Sandy, and then we get this mind-blowing scene.
This is Little Cheeks calling Big Cheeks. Come in, Big Cheeks. Over. Affirmative, Little Cheeks. This is Big Cheeks receiving you from the
Bro, what? Dude, like Sandyception. Dude, what is going on?
The formula for
Oh my goodness, that is interesting.
Now it can be safely rediscovered in the future. I knew sending you to Camp Coral was the right thing to do. Over and out. Bye, feature me. Ha. Mission accomplished. Timeline reserved. Now everything can continue just the way it's always been.
So Sandy used time travel to send her past self to Camp Coral so that she could make sure the Krabby Patty formula didn't get discovered before it was supposed to. They actually figured out a way to make this messed up continuity make sense. Don't you dare tell me the show doesn't care about its continuity. Can I also just say that this scene lines up perfectly with my television theory? A major part of that theory is that Sandy is actually a spy working for the showrunners and is secretly making sure everything stays on track. And then what do we see a month after I post my theory? Sandy secretly manipulating everyone to keep the show on track. Just gonna give myself a little pat on the back there. But enough gloating. What does any of this have to do with King Poseidon? Well, this proves that Camp Coral and the movie that sets it up are in an alternate timeline. The events that have taken place in the show are not the same events in this movie. The continuity errors like Sandy and SpongeBob meeting, or Poseidon being the king of the sea instead of Neptune, can be explained by this shift in
Bruh, this is like the SpongeBob multiverse over here, dude. Like the multiverse of SpongeBob.
The timeline. So there you go. King Poseidon and King Neptune are from completely separate timelines. That's why we never see any reference to King Poseidon
some Marvel
in the show.
type stuff
and
over here.
That is the Neptune theory. Huh. I mean that wasn't so hard. I guess I'm done here.
Neptune stirred up quite a gale tonight. He must be mad about something.
That's silly. Everyone knows Poseidon is ruler of the undersea.
Oh, dude, that's interesting.
Everyone knows Poseidon is ruler of the undersea.
Why can't anything ever be easy?
Right.
This is the clip that really made me decide to make this theory. The beginning of season 5, episode 19, Spongehenge, shows two fish arguing over whether Neptune or Poseidon is the real ruler of the sea. It's like the creators are directly telling us that both of these characters somehow exist in the same timeline, and it's our job to figure out how the puzzle pieces fit together. So let's take a look. Despite both of these characters having similar appearances and personalities, there is one very important difference between them. Poseidon doesn't have power. We've seen many times that King Neptune has magical abilities that he can use at any—
Bro, this episode was so amazing, dude. Like, OP, but it didn't taste as good as SpongeBob.
Time, even without his trident. But in the entire third SpongeBob movie, we never see Poseidon use any powers or magical abilities. Except for lighting up his trident, but all he has to do for that is just flip a switch. And we know from the episode Trident Trouble that you don't even need to be a god to use the trident. And at the end of the third movie, we find out Poseidon is actually in terrible shape. If you remember at the end of the episode Neptune's Spatula, Neptune briefly turned SpongeBob into a god, and we can see that having god powers gives you a perfect body. So why is Poseidon in such terrible shape? Because he doesn't actually have powers, only Neptune does. Even Neptune's wife, Queen Amphitrite, has to use technology to zap someone, unlike Neptune, who only has to use his finger in the exact same episode. He is clearly the only one with power.
Bro, this Neptune is so OP as well, dude. Like, he's like not playing around.
But why? To answer this question, we first have to understand the origins of King Neptune. Now, throughout the show, there is very little information on Neptune's past. I read the Wikipedia, I looked through the comic books, the video games, but I just couldn't find anything that would help me. But then I remembered there are SpongeBob shorts, which are like mini episodes that only air once, usually to promote something. So I started looking to see if there were any that could help us, and lo and behold, there is a SpongeBob short called The Story of King Neptune. Yeah, I guess that could be helpful. This short is about SpongeBob telling Patrick the origins of King Neptune, but it's not entirely clear whether it's true.
The story of King Neptune. When
I mean, it's gotta be
Neptune
canon,
was a
right?
little Neptune, his mother set him adrift in a river. As he floated along, a radioactive meteor fell to Earth.
Oh, I actually think I have seen this, dude. I think I remember this.
Appeared and anointed the infant with super
This may have been one of the few I've seen.
Really the origin of King Neptune?
Sure.
So King
I think
Neptune
it was in like
abandoned as a baby
the
and then
first
given his
100
powers by
episodes of
aliens.
SpongeBob.
But
It was
SpongeBob
in one of those
is
sets, I
holding an
think.
upside-down comic book, so it feels a
think.
lot like something he just made up. And SpongeBob is not the most reliable narrator. Unless there's something in the story that we can definitively prove, I don't think we can use it for a theory. Like, do you really expect me to believe that Neptune got his powers from aliens? I mean, we've never even
I mean, it low-key makes a little sense.
seen aliens in the show before.
That's
Except
true, too.
we have.
Have we?
And they just so happen to also live in a city called Atlantis.
This
Season
one was
5, Episode 12,
good.
Atlantis
Atlantis
Square
Square
Pantis. We see
Pantis.
another
Let's
completely
go.
different Atlantis. The
Yeah,
lost
Sandy,
city
like,
of
traveled
Atlantis.
to-
A city that's
Bro,
home
this
to a
episode
race
was
of
such a
aliens.
bop.
The Atlantean aliens traveled billions of
Also a
light
little bit
years to
creepy,
come to
too.
this planet and build their city.
For reasons unknown, this great city disappeared one day, but no ruins were ever found. All the inventions you take for granted were given to us by the Atlanteans.
They were a peaceful race of aliens who shared their technology, but then mysteriously disappeared for some reason. And take a guess what we find when we look inside of that city. A massive sculpture of King Neptune. That story about aliens giving Neptune his powers doesn't sound so far-fetched now, does it?
No.
And that's not all we find.
Neptune's Ascension, the only surviving painting from the great lost city of Atlantis.
A painting created by the Atlanteans called Neptune's Ascension,
Oh my
aka
goodness.
Neptune ascending to his god status by being given powers by the Atlantean aliens. The
Dude, that
story
is
is
crazy.
definitely referencing this. There are too many connections for this to be a coincidence.
Wow.
So even though it's being told by SpongeBob and details like the aliens' appearance are wrong, the
Dude, this is getting, like, extra interesting.
story itself is probably based on truth. And there's also a lot
I feel
of
like
evidence to support the
everything
idea
is,
that
like,
Neptune was
placed
abandoned as
in
a baby.
there
In
for you
Clash
to
of
find
Triton,
stuff
Neptune
like this.
is watching a soap opera in his bedroom
Like the
and gets
creators
upset
of
when his wife
SpongeBob,
turns
they
it off.
do this on purpose.
Neptune, surely this isn't the behavior befitting a king, doing nothing but watching daytime television.
Wait!
Yes, it is.
Rochelle was just about to meet her biological parents.
In
Dang, dude.
the soap opera, Rochelle was just about to meet her biological
Rochelle.
parents. Maybe the real reason why Neptune's so
Oh.
invested in
Dude,
the soap
I
opera
swear
is
they put
because
stuff
he's
in
never
this
met
like
his
this.
biological
They
parents either.
placed
There's
this
even
stuff in
tissues
here.
on the table next to him as
Right.
if he's been crying. And the idea that
'cause
Neptune
you
was
can relate
abandoned as a
to it.
baby works perfectly with the mythology in the show. Neptune is the Roman god of the sea, but he is the only reference to Roman mythology
SPQR.
in the show. Everything else we see is from Greek mythology. In the
Huh.
episode Trident Trouble, we see a Greek chorus.
Behold, we are the Greek chorus. We narrate this epic tale.
Neptune once mentioned Zeus, the Greek god of thunder.
So I say, look, Zeus, either you come up with more money, or Neptune walks.
He also mentions Apollo, the Greek god of the sun.
Now behold, my
I remember
beloved
this.
home of Atlantis, a prize worthy of Apollo.
Even in the city of Atlantis where Neptune lives, there's a building named the Poseidon, clearly named after Poseidon. So Neptune is clearly the outsider here, which is why he was abandoned as a baby. But if the sea is actually ruled by Greek mythology, then Poseidon should be the true heir to the throne.
Right.
Why is Neptune the king in the show?
a good point.
Because after Neptune was given his god powers by aliens, he returned to Atlantis and stole the throne from Poseidon. This would explain why there's so much confusion over who the real king is.
Dude, nobody knows. It's like, is it him? Is it him? Dude.
Neptune stirred up quite a gale tonight.
Everyone knows Poseidon is ruler
Yeah,
of
they
the
don't know.
undersea.
Legally, Poseidon should be the king, but Neptune took it by force.
He like,
and that's not all
bye.
he took from Poseidon. Neptune's wife, Queen Amphitrite, is the goddess of the sea. The Greek goddess of the sea, aka the wife of Poseidon.
Oh my
God
goodness.
damn, Neptune stole his wife
And his
his
girl.
throne. That is cold.
Oh.
And eventually, everyone did recognize
Girl
Neptune as
and
the rightful king.
throne.
The pink fish
What a
who seemed
savage.
adamant about Poseidon being the king completely changes her mind one season later in Clash of Triton.
Wait a minute, King Neptune is coming here? Oh, I'm a huge fan of the royal family.
Oh.
I just love everything they do.
And that is the real story of King Neptune. The reason why Poseidon is king in the third movie is probably because in that timeline, Neptune was never given his god powers, so he never stole the throne from Poseidon. Although, seeing as how Poseidon turned Atlantis into a big casino cash grab city, maybe it's a good thing Neptune
I mean, low-key, these animations, though, like, oh my goodness. I feel like I have to see this, dude. This looks so amazing.
took over.
The lost city of Atlantic City.
And that is
Sounds a little redundant. The lost city of Atlantic City.
It's the Neptune theory. That was a tough one, but we are finally done. See you next time,
Where
guys.
Are we?
Wait, why is Poseidon City called the lost city of Atlantic City?
The lost city of Atlantic City.
I mean, the Atlantic City Park makes sense. That's a reference to the real-life Atlantic City, but why is it called the Lost City? There is nothing lost about the city. It seems like everyone's easy.
Everybody's here.
The only other reference to a lost city of Atlantis is the one with the aliens that gave Neptune his powers. Nope. I don't care. I'm done with this.
Ray's like, nah, dude, I've already been through all this, dude. We ain't doing this again. Too much SpongeBob stuff going on.
Theory, I don't need
Everything
to answer every
is
single
like
little question. I
goes
am
together.
100% done.
Or not.
Fine, okay? One more quick part just to tie up all the loose ends, and then I am done. Alright, here we go. So we know before the Atlantean aliens mysteriously disappeared, they shared their technology with the creatures of the sea. I think the self-proclaimed sea got their technology, like tridents and their other weapons, from the Atlantean aliens. In fact, the Atlantean guards even use golden tridents as their weapons. That's why the gods named their city Atlantis, to pay tribute to the Atlanteans that gave them their technology. But all of that changed when Poseidon became king of the sea. He betrayed the Atlanteans and used their own weapons against them to conquer their home and turn it into a casino city. That's why Poseidon City is called the Lost City, even though it's not lost. It's referencing the Atlantean city that was conquered by Poseidon. And the reason why the Atlanteans gave god powers to some random abandoned baby in the main timeline was so that Neptune could take the throne from Poseidon and prevent him from conquering the alien city. And the reason why the Atlantean city mysteriously disappeared was because they hid it so no one could ever try and conquer them again. And that is the Neptune theory. I am done.
Interesting. Oh my goodness.
Okay, that's
Dude, that's a lot of theory there, dude. Oh my goodness. Dude, like, everything is so canon in SpongeBob. I didn't even realize this. Like, this is just so amazing.
Another one done. Thank you so much for watching. I've been your host, Alex. We've got more on the way. I'll see you next time.
Let's do this.
Hey, listen, that theory was awesome. You know, I don't know how you keep coming up with these, but, I mean, they're great.
They really are. Bro, who dat? Is that Alex?
And listen, you were totally right. You know, the people want SpongeBob theories, so who am I to ignore them? So, thank you.
Bro, what's in the bag? The bag looks extra sus.
Got the meat for you.
Arby's. Got the meat.
All right, listen. If we're gonna work on this, then we need to work on our communication skills.
Trust.
Because this
it's all about
creepy
trust.
fine act, it's getting old.
Bro, this is getting extra sus over here, dude. Like, oh my goodness, dude. Like, I feel like it's getting extra creepy. Chabo. Is that canon? Don't. Bro, what is going on? Bro, dude, when you hear that sound, bzzz, you know something creepy is about to happen. Reminds me of like Stranger Things. Like, no cap. I'm getting Stranger Thing vibes in here. Maybe it's because I just watched Stranger Things, but I don't know. Dude, that's me every time I try to type something. It's like, oh, typo right there. Bro, that clock. Bro, is anybody else feeling a jump scare in this, dude? Oh my goodness. Bro, what is that? Oh my goodness, dude. Is that a Demogorgon?
Why are you on my ceiling?
My boy, you have done
Bro, this is creepy.
But if we are to continue our
this
work,
is so creepy, dude.
I will
require something more.
No. Dang, dude, that was so creepy and really interesting. Oh my goodness, dude, like all the creepy vibes in there. But oh my goodness, this conspiracy, dude, the Neptune theory, I mean, just everything is so canon. I feel like the creators of the show just put this stuff in there. Like, they know exactly what they're doing with this, dude. Like, I did not know there was this much to SpongeBob. I mean, I've watched almost like all the episodes. I mean, I love SpongeBob, like, oh my goodness, but I did not know there was this much stuff and this many theories in this, dude. Like, oh my goodness, dude, that was a really interesting theory, dude. Like, I think that was really amazing. Atlantis Squared Pantis is probably one of my favorite episodes of SpongeBob. As far, I think it's like a two-parter almost. It's like a double feature, but oh my goodness, it was really interesting. I just absolutely just like so love this from beginning to end. I think that was really interesting. Like, all the confusion as well, dude. Like, they didn't know who their ruler was, but oh my goodness, I just absolutely just like so love this, and that was just like so amazing, so incredible. Now it's like so fantastic. What do you guys think about SpongeBob Conspiracy number 5, the Neptune theory? Let me know in the comment section down below. Also, click that bell, turn notifications. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Really do appreciate it. If you guys enjoyed the video, as always, guys, I'll catch you in the next reaction video.